Up next we have subnetting. And what does the term subnetting, that is not a real English term added by the dictionary, no. Subnetting means modifying and producing a unique, valid, real IP address. Subnetting means producing IP address. You know, IP address is not like MAC address. It is not something constant, just to be has a constant or unique form, and that's it. It will be constant forever on the device. IP address will be created, modified, deleted, removed, changed frequently, forever by you, the engineer, as long as you need to do modifications and editing on your network, on devices and their ports. So the matter or the sequence, the steps, procedure, whatever term you understand, that you use to give an IP address based on your need, this procedure is called subnetting. Okay, this procedure is called subnetting procedure. Okay, from 8 to 32, what is this? We will talk about it. The small is the bigger, and it can be written in two matters. What is all this about? What does really defines the size and benefit of the IP address? What do I mean by this? I mean, let me just type two random IP address. One of them you already been familiar with in the past chapter or lecture, which is this one, 192.168.1.1, and maybe another familiar one and close to it, maybe 192.168.1. I'm sorry, this is not familiar, this is a mirror. Take this off and go back. Maybe .2. These are two IP addresses that I can give it to two PCs, two computers. So now, can these two computers communicate? This is not something constant and you can just directly answer yes. Neither you can just answer directly as no at all. Never do that. Okay, you will understand how critical this is upcoming. Okay, so another explanation for the term subnetting is the real identity and limitation for the IP address. This number that when I see, I say this is an IP because it has 4 octets and written in decimal from 0 to 255. Okay, this is an IP address. This specific IP address that you are talking about, what is its limits? How much other IP addresses can talk to this IP address? Please note that nothing is like whatever IP address that I create by myself can talk to whatever IP address, other IP address that I create. There is nothing like this in the logical world of IP addresses. Okay, nothing is called that PC1 will have like 1, 1, 10, 1, and PC2 will have like 2, 10, 15, 15. Yes, of course they will talk to each other. No, at all. Not this way. This is only a number that it will always be useless. IP addresses are one of the most useless numbers. This is not a shock. No, IP addresses are very useless unless you have undefined correctly its subnet. Its subnet. Further, more details, it is called a subnet mask. Subnet mask is a series of numbers that do defines the identity of an IP address. Yes, I'm not joking. Masks in the real world, we know in English, masks are what hides the identity of something or some person. Subnet masks are what in detail precisely defines the identity of an IP address, of a given or a specific IP address. A subnet mask will tell you this IP address, is it valid, where can you use it, with how many other IP addresses it can talk, and exactly who are those IP addresses, who are those group of IP addresses that your IP can communicate with them directly and automatically without any further actions to do. So the only action that you need to assign with the IP address is its own subnet mask. Okay, let's take this off. Go back. So subnetting, which is we are talking about subnet mask, okay, is a number. We have to give it another identification sentence. I'm sorry. Subnetting or subnet mask, I'm sorry, is a series of ones followed by a series of zeros, but will never again be followed by other ones. Never ever again. Subnet mask is when you see ones, no matter how much are they, after that zeros, no matter how much are they, with no ones again, because once the first zero is written, so 100% the rest on the right will be zeros. This is another method or another way to express subnet mask, or to type or write a subnet mask. Okay, never forget about it. Subnet mask is a series of ones followed by a series of zeros that will never again have a series of ones after it, after the zeros. Okay, so this is the identification of subnet mask. Another method to express subnet mask is to have this slash with the with the decimal number. Have you already noticed that subnet mask is written in ones and zeros? What does this mean? It means that it is binary, and you know anything related to IP addresses in the world can be written either binary or decimal with using of conversion. So since this subnet mask is related to IP addresses, then it can be written in the form of binary, and it can be in the form of decimal language or the decimal number. Okay, so what do you still talking about? What do you mean? I mean this way: having an IP address of 192.168.1.1 is not enough. You will need furthermore to write after that its subnet mask. So I will type its subnet mask, which is a number, and let it be 24. Why 24? Because whatever number written here that express subnet mask, it must be from the range of 8 up to 32, and this affects how big or small this IP address is. This number affects what are the other IP addresses that I can talk up with, communicate with. This number affects how many IP addresses are able to communicate with this IP address. Okay, so please bring your notes. We will start talking about specifically and in detail about IP addresses. We will need a whiteboard. We will need a full screen to be clear. Where is the display? In this way, that should be good. Okay, we will start talking now precisely about subnetting. So for subnetting, why? Okay. Okay, for subnetting, let us start by taking an example. Just in case, if I had the number of 192.1, this is 9, 168.1.1/24, what is the first step? The first step will be type the subnet mask in a matter of binary. Express your subnet mask in the matter of a binary form. What I mean is that this is a number that should be from the range of 8 up to 32, and what we had as a random example with no specification is 24. How do I type or rewrite or convert 24 into the binary form of subnet masks? Please note, this is not converting the specific number 24 to become a binary number. Okay, this is converting subnet mask from being written in the decimal form to being written in the binary form, and this is how simple we will do it. Just like the next step will be, how many ones do I have? What is the value of this number? It is 24. So let me type these ones, 1, another 1. I mean by this a second, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and these are 8 bits, so this equals an octet. Let me put a dot and complete. Have I reached 24 yet? No, it's only 8 value. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now I have other 8, so I will put another dot. After that, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and finally we have reached our goal of 24. And this is also an 8 bits, so I will give again a third dot. What should I do after that? You remember, IP address is consisted of 32 bits. What I have written so far produces 24 bits out of 32 bits, so I still have 32 minus 24. I still need to give you still ask me for other 8 bits, but these 8 bits will not be produced as ones because I have already been fed enough with ones. I have reached my subnet mask of 24. Then I will give the rest 8 digits as zeros. So this is how you type, convert, or rewrite a subnet mask from the decimal form to the binary form. This is very, very extremely important to be mastered and understanding in the world of networking and IPv4 subnetting. Okay, so 24 is how I can express it in the binary form by writing it this way. I have 24, then it is 24 ones, and the rest is zeros until I reach my limitation of 32 bits. Okay, this is a first example. We will take a second example. Okay, so the second example will be 172.16.1.1. Does it matter this number at all? What does it matter then? The number after the slash, which let it be 16. Okay, so it's 16. My first step again to convert it to the binary form. So let it be, how do I express 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, dot 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, dot I am fed with ones, so I will complete my numbers to reach 32 by using zeros. So 1, 2, 3, we have reached 16, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 29, I'm sorry, 30, 31 and 32. So this is how you can rewrite or produce or convert the subnet mask of 16 to the binary form. Okay, since we have so far talked about and declared how to type a subnet mask in the binary form, we will do two shots, or we will hit two targets in a single shot, which is, if you have so far followed me and understand how to type subnet mask in binary form and you did it successfully by yourself using your notes, so now you can very likely and very easily know that, let me use the blue one, will know that the part that is written using ones is called the network part. Please understand this, and whatever value of the part that is written using zeros, it will be called the hosts part. Up we have all these three octets are ones, so all these three octets are the network part, and the last octet, the last 8 digits, is written by zeros, so this is the hosts part. Okay, following so far, I hope. So this is something very important to understand, why we will talk about it after we erase all our notes here. Should we erase it all? Yes, no problem. We will continue talking now. Okay, so once you reach, or once you know how to type, let me type it in a clear format: 192.168.1.1/24. What does this mean? It means that it has the subnet mask of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, and 4. These are up to 28, 32. This is my subnet mask, and let me declare furthermore my parts. So this is my network part, and this is my hosts part. What then? Let me tell you what then. Then, first, the network part is a constant part that I will no longer can modify, change, or edit as long as the subnet mask is 24. What do you mean by this? Okay, you know, IP address is contained of 4 octets, so as the subnet mask, because subnet mask is a magical hidden number that is hidden beneath IP address, and it produces the real form or real limitation of an IP address. So it must have the same size of an IP address. IP address has 32-bit length, as well as subnet mask has 32-bit in length. Okay, so you know that both of them are contained out of 4 octets for IP address and subnet mask. So you can know that this first octet is assigned to this first one, this second octet is assigned to this second one, and this third octet is assigned to this third octet. Finally, this fourth octet is assigned to this fourth octet. I can write this in this form, that 192 is of the network part, 168 is of the network part, dot 1 is of the network part, and finally dot 1 which is of the host part. You care only about the host part. This is no longer your care area or spot. Okay, because once you know that /24 makes the first 3 octets have a subnet mask of ones, then ones are the part of the network which I cannot touch. Only what I can modify is this one. So this one can be modified according to the rules of IP addresses starting from 0 up to 25. I'm sorry, 255, because these are the limitations. But let us further talk about it. First one, this is the network address, and second one, this is the host's address, okay, which is variable. Okay, what do I take of this, and how do I really differ between the network address and the host address? I will use a method that once an instructor before used it and I liked it. Imagine the neighborhood that you live in, okay, which is a street with number of houses or maybe buildings of flats, but let us imagine it as easy as it is houses. Okay, so like we have a long street with about 40 houses. What is common between you and your neighbor, and what is specific for you only? The common thing between you and your neighbor that all of you lives in street number 40. But the unique thing about your house is that you only live in house number 20. Okay, so 40 is the number of street that is something do not belong to me and I cannot edit and I cannot own, which is the network part, and 20 is the number of the house that I live in, which is my house, which I can own it by myself and use it and live in it. Okay, another note that who are your neighbors that you can talk and see every day? They are the neighbors that lives with you in the same street. The 40 house in a single street can talk to each other. That is very important to notice from subnet mask. Subnet mask tells you exactly who are your neighbors, and they start from number what up to number what, maybe number 40, because we stated that there is a 40 house in the street. Okay, from house from number 1 up to number 40 inside this street, inside this network, all of them can communicate together to each other directly without any further needs. Okay, I hope this method or this type was clear enough for you to understand the benefit of subnet mask and how to find the network part from the host part, and what is the real role of the network and the host part. Okay, we will continue in the upcoming slide or video. Thank you.